Hey Lisa, just wanted to shoot a quick update video for you here. It's Saturday, what is it, like 1 o'clock I think. Yeah, I just want to show you where we are at here. So, there are fingerprints on it, and that's okay, I just haven't done any final wiping and stuff like that. So, it's taking me a bit longer than what I had hoped for, but that's okay, because you can't rush quality. So, I want to show you what we got going on, where we're at. As you know, the hood was done the other day. I got most of the seams all closed up. There's a lot more trimming than what I would hoped to do. For instance, we cut this piece down here, right? And it didn't cover it all the way. So I had to recut it and extend the edges out so I can get a better wrap and coverage on it. So that all needs folded in and trimmed. I had to extend the bottom edges. This all needs folded over and trimmed. The bottom pieces down here, all these air bubbles and stuff will be closed out. Don't worry about that. All of this needed extended and trimmed. And 100% honest with you, this will be the last time that I'm using this plotter software. Whoever designed the pattern, typically what they do is, you know, a new car is designed, right? So they have this big machine that they take and they walk around the car and it scans it, right? Shoots lasers at it and basically maps out a 3D image of it. And then they take that, turn it into a flat image that we can plot out. Whoever designed this pattern, this car at one point when they scanned it had the front license plate bracket on it. So I spent probably 3.5 hours yesterday editing patterns because I will so this black piece here, right, it loops up and goes up over there, goes up over right there. That was clear back here, and again, didn't cover far enough to get the coverage that we want, right? We want it to kind of go underneath here, we want it to kind of go over top, we want it to cover that. It wasn't covering it, and it stopped clear over here. So I had to take all these little nodes, essentially, and stretch the pattern out and make sure that they were straight up and down and got all the coverage. The same thing with this piece down here, this red piece, right? It was in two pieces. It stopped probably here and you know, here. So it left room for that license plate piece that's here, but you don't have that because we don't need that in the state of Ohio anymore. So basically what I had to do is I've got to extend these pieces over and then seam it right here in this middle piece. The front bumper, for example, has none of these cut out for some reason. It has this cut out, but not your sensors. And again, it had a big piece right here where the license plate bracket was. So I had to extend all that down, get rid of all those, get rid of the piece that isn't there, right? Because otherwise you'd have a big open spot right here that isn't covered. So I had to do all that, which of course, by me having to extend all these edges and do all this stuff, it doesn't fit perfect, or it doesn't fit right off the rip, if that makes sense. So I've got to go in and I've got to trim all this stuff back. So it's not a super big deal, it's just more irritating and it's more work than what I wanted to do. So it's just taking us a little bit longer. My goal here today is to get all the stuff that's on here trimmed up. The only thing I have left to do is I have, oh, my wife's coming in. I've got the other piece of the black trim to do, and then the main front bumper piece. So I will get those on today and get everything else trimmed up, because unfortunately when I put these on here, you know, I've got to let it dry. Hold on, I'll give it a second, let that door close. So like I put this piece, I'll turn this around. So I put this piece on, but the problem is it overlaps onto this bumper because I had to extend the edges. So because of that, I can't put this piece on until this piece is dried and trimmed, because otherwise I'll just trap water in there, it'll never dry out, and then it'll just take us even longer than what it is now. So I know I had told you, what, Monday afternoon at the latest we'll have both Scarlett and Katie done. That's still a thing. Like I said, I'm hoping to have the rest of that film on, get everything trimmed up, because I'll probably have to let that bumper dry overnight. Get everything trimmed up tomorrow. Get the rest of this car, half of this car maybe polished tonight, get the rest of it polished tomorrow, and then get the coating put on the whole thing. So it's taking a little bit longer than what I wanted. Oh, and I gotta clean the inside too, so I'll have to make sure I do that before I bring it back. But yeah, that's where we're at. Everything's turning out really good. It's just taking a little bit longer. So, all right, well, that's all I have for you today, Lisa, and I look forward to letting you know where we're at tomorrow.